So thanks for coming today. I want to start in child's pose. You can touch the toes, make the knees wide or closed. I want to have my knees closed because I want to focus more on um, stretching out the back and the lower spine and not so much the hips. You can always take your block or book and put it underneath your forehead. Relax the arms and the eyes. You have your book or block underneath your forehead. Rock your head a little side to side. Just start to breathe. Really long inhales and even longer exhales out. Find stillness. Your forehead doesn't rock side to side. Walk the fingertips closer towards the front of your room. Take 4 more deep breaths to stay. Today we're focusing on forward folds. So we'll have lots of opportunities to stretch out the back, the neck, the lower back, the hamstrings, even the feet. Nice. Start to come up on your hands and knees. If you have that book or block, I want you to slide it underneath your bum and take a seat down, kind of like hero's pose, sitting on your block. I'm gonna turn to face you, but you still face the front on your mat. So like I said, we're doing forward folds. So we're gonna start with a little bit of a neck opener. So we're gonna take our hands, interlace them, bring them behind our head, kind of like we're just relaxing, and then start to bring the chin to chest and drop the head down. Now keep your belly up and in towards the spine as you do this. I don't want to see too much of this yet. We'll have our opportunities to do a deep forward fold like that, but for now, we're going to keep the abs and core engaged and bring the chin down to chest and really just focus on the back of the neck. Just bring your weight into your hands. Focus your breath on the back of the neck. Right down at the trapezius. Two more breaths. Slowly start to lift the head. Bring your left hand to your left thigh. Keep your right hand behind your head. Look down at your right hip, and then bring a little pressure on the back of the head, just drawing the chin in kind of towards that right armpit. So you're getting the back of the neck on the left side, but a little bit towards the left side more than just the back. 2 more breaths. And slowly start to lift. Other side, right hand to thigh. Left arm reaches up and behind the head. Look down towards the left hip. Drop the head slowly down, chin towards that left armpit. Bring a gentle weight with that left hand to the back of the neck. You should feel a nice stretch in that right side. Close the eyes, take a few breaths. Nice, come up, inhale, lift the arms up. Close the eyes, exhale, come to heart center. Hug the belly in. And go ahead, come down onto your tabletop pose. You can move the block away for now. Tabletop, hands and knees. We're gonna take some slow cat-cows. Inhale, dip the belly. Elbows bend, they hug in. As you exhale, press down and round the shoulders. Separate the shoulder blades. Really press down, chin to chest. Engage the lower core, tuck the toes. Straighten the arms. Inhale, bend the elbows, look forward. Cow. And press. Separate the shoulder blades. Stay here in cat pose for 3 breaths. Getting the full stretch across the back. Nice, come to neutral spine, move the hips a little left and right. Now, if you don't have those toes tucked, tuck them once again. And I want you to drag the toes down the mat to make sure that every toe is tucked. If it's not, you can just use your hands, make sure each pinky toe is tucked. From here, we're taking toes pose. So we're gonna start to walk the hands back towards the thighs. And really just, we're right here, resting the hands on the thighs. At first, it feels pretty easy, but as you're about to notice, it's not that easy. It's a very intense pose throughout the bottoms, the soles of the feet, plantar fascia. Roll the shoulders back, draw the shoulder blades in. Draw the shoulders together, interlace the hands behind you or grab your strap and pull the chest forward and open the chest, start to look up. Take a couple breaths to stay in this heart opener, toe opener, foot relaxer. Release that heart opener, just let your hands rest on your thighs. Take 2 more deep breaths. I know it's a lot. And come back to tabletop. And I want you to just tap out those toes on the floor. From here, we're going to take that left knee, bring it to the center in your tabletop. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Take the right foot and cross it over the left. Then I want you to take your feet and make them wide. So the right foot goes to the left side, left foot goes to the right side. Then we're going to take a seat between our feet for Gomukhasana. So I'm going to turn and face you, but you stay where you are. Oh, it's hard to move like this. So usually we would take our strap, we do a shoulder opener. We're not going to do that today. We're going to inhale, open the arms up, lift up. Exhale, forward fold over the knees. Now, if you wanted a little more support in this pose, you could take, if you have your blanket, your block, whatever kind of prop you have, you can bring it between the thighs. You can even use both. Just kind of prop up your leg so it's not so much right on the other thigh. It's not knee to knee or thigh to thigh, which makes it a little deeper in the hips. So we're in a forward fold. You can always use your block or book here. You can bring your forehead down to the block and let your forearms rest on the floor. Now stay in this pose and breathe. I'm just going to make sure that all of our technology is working so that you don't have any secret visitors that aren't supposed to be here yet. All right, looks good. Take a few more breaths. This pose is called Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Nice. We're gonna lift the arms up. Let the left arm drop down to the floor. Reach up and over the right ear with the right arm. Look up towards the right elbow. Now, my understanding of this Zoom app is that it mirrors my video automatically. So if I'm reaching this way, you're kind of doing the same thing. And it's both of our right arms. I hope I'm correct in that. Lower the right arm down to right side, left arm over left ear. And look up at your left elbow. Nice. Come back down. Now we're coming through tabletop to switch sides. So go ahead, lean forward, come onto your knees. We're gonna undo this twist to come into regular tabletop. Now let's see, we're gonna let the switching sides. I believe that your right knee is gonna cross over the left. And if I'm wrong, do the opposite. Sometimes I forget my lefts from rights. It's one of my many things that I do. Stacking the knees. Oh, you know what? I had it wrong. There we go. Perfect. So your left is on top. Gomukhasana. I'm gonna inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And start to lean forward over your knees. Again, if you need props here, feel free. Don't feel like you have to do this pose in pain. That would be bad. You can always take a block under that left thigh. Not the most comfortable thing, but it does help you stay in the pose and not feel that pain. Now in your forward fold, you can take your blocker book and rest your forehead down. And really just start to feel the opening of the IT bands of the outer hips. You can rest your palms facing up. Maybe you find a little brow massage by rolling your brow bone across the block side to side. Take 2 more breaths to stay. And slowly come up. Move the block to the side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Right arm comes to right side, left arm over left ear. Little side bend, look up at the left elbow. Left arm lowers, lift the right arm up. Other side. Nice. Lower the right arm down, coming back onto our knees. And from here, I'm gonna face forward again. We're gonna swing our feet around, come onto our backs. Go onto your backs, hug your knees into your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. And start to open the knees up. Maybe grab your feet for a happy baby. Rocking maybe a little side to side. Some people like to find stillness. Some people like to find movement. Flex the feet up towards the sky. And from here, extend your legs up towards the sky, flat to the feet facing the ceiling. Now I'm going to reach the arms up towards the toes and lift the shoulder blades off the floor. I'm going to pulse here for a count of 12. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breath in. And 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time we're going to do eagle arms, so let your back come down for a rest. Let's let the knees come at a 90-degree angle here, flat to the feet facing the front of your room. So let's cross the left arm over the right for eagle arms and do 10 crunches. 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch the arms, immediately go into the other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the arms, release the feet. Arms come down by your sides, press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, bridge pose. It's a really nice, relaxing pose to do after crunches. Just take a few breaths here. You don't have to lift the hips too high here. Maybe just find a nice angle where it doesn't feel like too much work. It just kind of relaxes out the lower abdomen. Close the eyes, stay here. Maybe you press the toes down into the floor and you lift one heel at a time in your bridge pose. From here, we're gonna heel toe our feet together, lower the hips, open the knees. So we're in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Bring your hands together, palms facing down. We're gonna look between the legs, look down towards the toes, and reach the hands between the hips for 12 counts. 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Close the knees. Just rock up to a seat. Keep your legs out in front of you. Dandasana. So for Dandasana, it's just a seated forward fold. So as you can see, we're already starting our forward fold part of the class. I do want you to grab a block or a book for this because it makes it a little bit easier, a little bit nicer. So we're gonna sit on our block. I like mine the wide way. It's a little more stable. And you can have your strap for this as well. Legs are out in front of you, toes are up towards the ceiling. You take your strap. Gonna get mine ready. Go ahead and wrap it around the feet. Maybe wrap it around the hands. Draw the elbows in towards the sides and the chest opens up towards the toes. Flex the toes up towards the sky. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to stay. Now, right now, I want you to focus on sucking the belly button in, Uddiyana Bandha, lowering the shoulders down and hugging the elbows in towards the sides. Should feel like a little tiny workout in the triceps, just because you're holding that strap in. And maybe if you feel comfortable, you start to roll the strap around your hands, getting a little bit closer to your feet. Now, obviously your elbows will kind of pull away from your sides, but I want you to focus and bring your shoulders down away from the ears. The moment we get here, I mean, eventually we can come down here, roll the spine, round it a little bit and reach towards the toes. But since we're up so high here, I want you to lower the shoulders down, still hug the belly button in towards the spine. And if you feel comfortable, maybe you reach all the way down towards the toes. Keep that openness of the chest, looking up, lowering the shoulders down. Take 3 breaths to stay in the deepest forward fold that feels good for you. Nice job. Move the strap aside. We're going to take the feet in towards you for Malasana. So it's actually really nice. We're already here with the block. We're ready to go for Malasana. You can just bring your arms in front of your shins. If you like to take a crow here, feel free to bring a little fire into this pose. You can stay on the block. Or if you want to leave the block to the side or in front of your mat, and get in that deeper pose. Bringing the hands to heart center, closing the eyes for a couple breaths. Maybe moving a little side to side. Bring the hands down to the floor. Press up to forward fold. Lock the feet underneath the hips and grab your book or block. Now bring it down to the floor. You can have your other one here as a little support for the other hand, but you don't need it. We're gonna bring the top of the left foot to the block and the left heel down to the floor. So it's a nice foot opener. Again, we're opening up the bottoms of the feet. So when you think about stretching, and I'll explain this while we do the pose to make it pass a little bit better. When you think about opening up, stretching any part of the body, and we're doing that right now with forward folds, you want to think about what are the interconnected parts of the body that would help me open up for that particular pose. So if we open up the feet, the calves, the hamstrings, that'll allow our forward fold to be deeper. If you look at the back side of my body, that's where this is all going to happen. Now it would be the opposite for a back bend. We want to open up the front side of the body. and probably end with doing the opposite. So we'll end with doing a nice chest opener back bend. Go ahead, switch sides, lower the left, lift the right toes, right heel to the floor. Maybe you notice one side feels different. Maybe fold a little bit deeper and let the head hang. Shaking the head, maybe little baby head bangs forward and back. Take 2 more deep breaths. And slowly release that right foot. Blocks move away for now. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Make a number 7 with your body. Open the chest nice and big for the front of the room. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees a lot. Let the belly rest on the thighs. And slowly rise all the way. Press into the feet. Lift the arms. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Hug in the belly button, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive down. Doing a sun A, nice and slow. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back for plank. Nice strong plank, spread all 10 fingers. Grip the fingertips into the floor. You can come your high to low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra to downward facing. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Sink the heels down into the floor, plant the hands, press the floor away, lift the hips, drop the heels. Look over towards your right elbow or right bicep. And look over towards your left elbow or left bicep. So you feel that nice stretch in the side of the neck. Again, let's look over to our right bicep. And left. Look down towards your toes. Look forward. And just walk one foot then the other to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Shake the head out no a couple times. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's do another time. Forward fold right down through. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Hop, step, or jump back. Plank pose. Lean forward, come down, high to low. Inhale, forward. And downward dog. Pedal out the heels here a couple times. Stay for 4 breaths. Now, like I said, the forward folds have to come from the back side of the body. So right now we're stretching out the hamstrings and the calves in this pose. So maybe you take your right foot, and between your big toe and your second toe, you kind of just bring that space between the toes right to that left heel and just encourage that left heel to sink down a little more. So the right knee is bent while you do this. You should feel a deeper stretch in that left calf. Let's switch sides. Right foot comes down. Lift the left. The space between your 2 first toes comes right to your right heel, and you sink down the right heel towards the floor. 2 more breaths. Nice. Release the foot. Hop, step, or jump forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sweep up. Inhale or exhale, hands to heart center. Sun C, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back first. Let's bring that left knee down to the floor. If you want to untuck the toes, you can. Let's keep the hands down the floor for now. Maybe you tent them so your fingertips just touch. Now I want you to press your hips a little forward and look a little forward. And maybe you start to feel an opening in the front of that left hip. If you don't feel that yet, maybe you start to walk the hands a little closer to the front of your mat and bring a little more weight towards that right foot, maybe sliding that left foot forward a little bit. Nice, walk the hands back, tuck the back left toes, press into the right foot, sweep the arms up for your low lunge. Interlace the hands, press the palms away towards the ceiling, open the chest. Bring the hands down, still interlace onto that right thigh. And just take a moment here to breathe. Hands come down, line the front right foot, lift the left knee, step back, plank pose, stay here. Roll onto the right heel and right side of the right foot, lift the left arm up to the sky, side plank on that right arm. Reach up towards the sky or towards the front, or maybe let that left arm rest on the left side. Come down the left hand, high to low. Inhale. Upward facing through tabletop to downward facing. Bring the right foot to the center of the mat. Inhale, lift up that left leg. Draw the knee in towards your nose. Inhale, lift the left. Knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift. Knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift. And step the left foot through between the hands. Let that right knee come down. Now, grab your blocks here. If you have two, that's great. If you have a block and a book, whatever you've got. You don't actually need the blocks, but I like them here for support. So we're having a block on each side of that left leg. We're gonna lift the hips up and start to straighten that left knee, and I'll show you. The left toes start to flip up towards the sky. And now you'll probably see why I like to have blocks on either side. Sometimes here is a little too low, and I like to keep the chest a little more open. You can stay here, or you can bow down a little deeper. Keep your chin lifted towards that left big toe, and really feel the back of that left leg. The hamstrings start to stretch out. One more breath. And come down into that left foot. Blocks move forward. We're gonna step that back right foot to the front. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, coming down all the way through other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot steps back, right knee lowers down to the floor. You can untuck the toes if you like. Now we're bringing our fingertips down to the floor again to stay. And lean a little more to that left foot. Maybe even press actively down into the floor with your left foot. Maybe you start to feel an opening in that right hip, the front of your right hip. Maybe you want to feel a deeper pose, so you walk the fingertips closer to the front of the mat. Take a couple breaths. I mean, it's totally okay to lean that left shoulder and the left side of the chest into that left thigh if you get there. Tuck the back right toes. Press into the left foot. Sweep the arms up. Interlace the hands, this time the opposite way you normally do. Press the sky away with the palms. Maybe you start to look up. And place the palms on that left thigh. Line the left foot with both hands, step the left foot back for plank pose. Now other side for side plank. We come onto the left side of the left foot, lifting the right arm up to the sky. Reach the right arm up. Maybe we reach in front of us. Maybe we let the right arm come down our right side. Take a breath. Let the right hand come down, high to low. You can always modify with knees down to the floor. Slide through upward facing or cobra to downward facing dog. Left foot comes to the center of the mat. Inhale the right leg up to the sky. Draw the knee in towards your nose. Inhale, reach the right leg. Knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, reach the right. Knee to left. Inhale, lift the right. Step it through. Lower that left knee down to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up. Hands come down, maybe grab your blocks if you have them on either side. Lift the hips up, slide them back, and lift the right toes up to the sky. Now you don't have to have a totally straight right knee here. You can always keep a bend in the knee. Maybe you like to untuck the back left toes. You can stay here, the chest more open. Or you can start to bow down, looking towards your big right toe. Maybe rounding the spine a little bit here as well, just to see how it feels in your lower spine. Nice and slow, lift the head. Come on to your right foot. Move the blocks forward. Tuck the back left toes, lift the left knee, and step to forward. Forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Now from here, I want you to bend one knee at a time. And just kind of move the head and look side to side underneath the arms. Nice. Find stillness. Move the feet side to side. So heel toe the feet further apart, maybe even off your mat, depending on how long your legs are. Grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. And let the head drop down between the shoulders. Start to sway slowly side to side. Maybe the elbows start to touch the shins. Now, as we do this, we're going to start to come up. So the right elbow will touch the right shin. You're going to open up that left elbow. So you're looking underneath that left arm, kind of looking towards the front of your room. As you press into the left foot, we're going to start to rise and come to a standing pose here. Our feet are still wide. We're still grabbing opposite elbows. Now, we're coming down the other side. So we're going to come down, left elbow comes down towards the left shin. And then we take that forward fold. Let's do it again, but this time we're going to do it the opposite way. Left elbow to left shin. Point the right elbow towards the front of your room. Lift the right elbow and left. Come to standing and look forward. As you exhale, drop the right elbow to right shin and come down, forward fold. Release the hands to the floor, heel, toe, the feet close together underneath your hips. Now from here, we're taking Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, which is not the easiest pose. So if you, in your mind, you're like, I suck at this pose, you know, which I always think about when it comes to balance poses, because sometimes they can be embarrassing when you fall in front of people. But you're in the comfort of your own home. If you fall, whack your face, which I hope you don't. No one saw you do it, unless your video's on, but I can't even see that far away, so you're good. We're taking our block, our book, bring it to the front of our mat in the middle. We're starting by bringing our right foot to the front. We're going to lift the left arm up and start to lift that left heel. Press down to the right foot. Start to lift that left leg up. You can always start with a closed hip and then start to open that left hip and point those left toes towards the left side of your room. Now, as you rise, you don't want to feel like you're just putting your foot in the place. You want to feel like you're constantly rising and growing towards the sky. That constantness, that constant growing and rising will help you keep your balance and open up even more. See if you can hold for 3, 2, And slowly lower down, feet to front. Other side, block to the left hand, center of the mat. Left toe pointing forward, left foot solidly down on the floor. I like to lift my right arm up first here. You know, lifting the arm first can find a way to bring your chest up and then lift the leg. Some people like to lift the right leg first and then the arm follows. It's really up to you. And you start to open up that right hip, open up that right shoulder. Maybe you start to let go of the block. Maybe you even bend the right knee and grab the foot with the right hand. Wherever you are, we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower the right foot down. Thanks. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. From here, we're stepping the left foot back for warrior 2. So left toes face left and forward, 45-degree angle. Sweep the arms up. Every teacher used to say, you know, you want your left foot and your right foot here to be perpendicular, one facing the left, one facing forward. But really, if you have a 45-degree angle in that back left foot, you're solid. We're gonna start by lifting the arms up and straightening the right leg. And come down, warrior 2, bend the right knee. Stay here. Get nice and strong. Really press into the outer edge of that left foot. Shooting energy out of your fingertips, shoulders lower. Flip the right palm and lift it over your right ear. Reverse warrior. Let that right forearm come to right thigh. Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Left arm over left ear. Separate all 10 fingers. Maybe start to look up towards the left elbow or left bicep. Maybe you find a bind and you let that left arm come underneath or come behind you, behind your back, and tuck underneath, maybe grabbing that right thigh. As you can maybe see my left fingertips here, grabbing the front of my thigh. Maybe you start to grab underneath that right thigh for this kind of bind. Some people like to find Barre to paradise. I'm not really one of those people. Or you can just stay in your classic side angle pose. We're gonna pull ourselves up with our left hand, pulling this imaginary rope back to warrior 2. Then we're gonna start to set up for triangle. So straightening that right leg, you can always keep a slight bend in the knee. Doesn't have to be totally straight. Arms widen and we come down, right arm to the floor or a block. Huge fan of a block for triangle pose because I find a lot of people, I say this like almost every time I do triangle pose, a lot of people would rather have their hand down to the floor and see my left shoulder here than have their hand up and their chest open. So I'll show you that again. This is what happens when my hand's on the floor. I'm exaggerating a little, and this is what happens to my chest when my hand is lifted. So some people might be here all the way up on the thigh, maybe more of a bend, to find that openness and that left shoulder. And that's okay. It's wherever you are, you want to find an open chest. You want to feel like you can almost open up the chest to the sky and drop that left arm behind you. Lower the left hand down to the floor. We're going to find pyramid pose. So maybe if you have 2 blocks, grab those. We're going to step that left foot much closer to the right foot. Inhale to lift the chest to start. Exhale to forward fold over the right leg. Knee is bent a little bit, or if you find it comfortable to have it totally straight, then that's all up to you. If you want a deeper pose, you can remove your blocks or books and maybe reach the fingertips towards the back of your room. You'll definitely start to feel it in the back of the right knee, hamstring, etc. Nice. From here, we'll take a quick standing split pose. Just start to bend that right knee and lift the left leg up in the air. Hands can be down on the floor or blocks. And then we just bend the knee and lower the left foot. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale to fold. From here, Step that right foot back. We're coming into warrior two. So right toes can face forward and to the side. Whatever feels good. Reach the right arm and left arm up. Warrior two arms. Arms are strong, shoulders are low. Remember your breath if you've forgotten it. Happens to everybody. If you forget your breath and the teacher says, oh, breathe, and you're like, oh crap, I don't think I breathed the whole time until now. Flip that left palm, reach the left arm up and over, reverse warrior. In side angle pose, left forearm to left thigh, right arm over right ear. Nice long line from the tips of your right fingers all the way down your right side to your right heel, pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. You can find your bind here, dropping the right arm behind your back. Maybe you start here. Maybe you don't quite have your bind yet, but you start just by dropping the arm behind your back. Maybe you start exploring while it's there, see if you can loop the fingertips around the left thigh, or maybe see if you can drop the left shoulder and elbow in front of the left thigh and reach under and grab the fingers. Come out of your twist. Reach behind you with the right arm, pull yourself up, warrior two, and triangle. Straighten the left knee more or less. Come down the left hand to a block, or shin, or floor, or reach the right arm up. Again, the goal of this pose is open chest. As much as we are stretching the left hamstring here, we're also being aware of that right shoulder being open. Really energize all 10 fingers, especially the right hand. Look down at your left toes. Grab your other block if you have two, otherwise you can just use it without blocks. Start to bend that left knee and step that right foot much closer to your left so the right heel's on the floor. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale down, pyramid pose. You can always heel to that left foot a little more to the left if you need more stability. If you're without blocks, your fingertips might come down and maybe they'll start to reach back for a deeper pose. For 3, 2, and 1. Hands come forward, bend that left knee a lot, and step the right foot forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Now we have one more. I know it's already 7:17, but I did want to do one more stretch with you. Time flew by. I was just having so much fun doing those forward folds. So why don't you come down onto your mat. Last thing we'll do before Shavasana is just a quick straddle split. And I hate to do it quickly, but since we are almost out of time, I just want to show you that it can be a really nice stretch. I love passive stretches that you can do while doing other activities. And I know that's counterintuitive because yoga is supposed to be very intentional, but I find that especially forward folds, if I didn't do it passively, I probably wouldn't do it at all. So it's either that or nothing for me, but you might be different where you like to have that mindful deep stretch. So we're gonna come into a straddle, opening up the feet. Now, I'm off my mat a little with my butt because I want my heels to be on my mat. And if my heels were on my wood floor, it would really hurt. So it kind of depends on what kind of floor you have. So we're starting with just this easy straddle wherever you are, feet are open. And if that already feels intense for you, then stay there and maybe just let the hands rest down in front of you and relax the head. If you want to push yourself, and I hate to say push yourself, but it's kind of like you are, into a deeper pose, gently push yourself. Bring your hands behind you and just slowly scoot your hips closer to the side of the mat you're facing. Now, as I do this, my feet kind of feel weird, so I'm gonna point my toes up towards the sky. So my feet are flexed. And just kind of keep hopping along my hips until I feel like, all right, this is definitely the wishbone situation where I will crack if I move forward again. I don't feel pain, I just feel a deep stretch. If you want to use your block here, you can. You can come down on the forearms and rest the head down on the block if that's where you're at. And this can be where you hang out. Maybe this is where, if you're working from home and you just need to answer a couple emails, you just come down to the straddle split. Obviously, you want to be very careful getting out of it because you're becoming fragile here in the groin area. So you want to be mindful coming out of these poses. You can rest your forearms on a block or a book. If you want to do a little side to side here, you can reach over the left with the left hand, maybe a little reaching over the right here with right arm. Same thing on the other side. The full pose, something I can't do. Upavista Konasana. It's when the chest lowers totally down to the floor and you grab your feet and you just look like a big flat pretzel. So that's kind of the full pose, but no one's expecting you to do that today, tomorrow, or in a year. This is already a very deep pose in the groin. This is fantastic to stay. So we'll start to come out of it. So lean back and just slowly kind of move the hips back towards the other side of the mat you were inching toward. And use your hands to kind of just bring your feet in front of you. Maybe just lean forward, grab your shins. Nice. I did want to end with one final pose. I'm going to use mine as Shavasana. So maybe use it as your Shavasana. If you have a blanket, or let's see, a blanket would be a good way to do it. I know I didn't say to grab a blanket, so I'll just be quick about this. You can roll up your blanket, so it's like a tube. You can have your feet out in front of you, bring your little blanket rolled up, hitting your lower spine, and then just lower down. And it's kind of just a nice, easy back bend here, just a light one. If you want a deeper one, you have your two blocks. You can do supported fish pose. We did this the other day. Make a T with your blocks. Let's see, the long part of the T goes down the spine, and the top part of the T goes as a pillow. You kind of just have to feel it out for yourself, what feels good, and lower down in supported fish pose. And if you only have one block or book, you can take one block, lower to the lowest height, and just kind of lower your back down onto it. It's a little less comfortable, but it'll do the trick. With the palms face up. Deepen the breath. So I'll take a deep breath in together, fill the lungs. Big sigh out to the mouth. Inhale, breathe in. Sigh, relief. One more, inhale. And exhale. If you feel uncomfortable in your back bend, you're more than welcome to come out and lay totally flat. One of the fantastic things about forward folding is that it's a mini surrender every time you do it. You're bowing your head, your chest, your heart. Maybe you're closing your eyes and you're folding your body, just surrendering to the gravity, to the weight, anything you want to assign to be that thing you're surrendering to is it. Maybe in your life you've been fighting some emotion, some event that happened, you're resisting change. Maybe you're resisting stillness. Allow yourself to fold into it. To surrender yourself to those things you cannot change, those things you cannot control. And there's a lot of that going on now. It's kind of like moving with the current. We expel a lot less energy. And we accept where we're going. Keep your eyes closed. Stay in your Shavasana for a few more breaths. Just thinking about that current that you're not resisting. You're surrendering to that movement, to that destination. Tilt to one side, coming into fetal position. And slowly, not trying to wake yourself up too much, come into a seat. Let your palms face up, resting on your knees or thighs. Close your eyes. Allow yourself to feel that emotion you've been resisting when it comes to accepting something you're trying to push away. There's a reason why you're trying to resist whatever it is you are. And just understand that we cannot control every part of our destiny, every part of our future. But we can control our reaction to changing circumstances. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, come down. And I said this last week, and it's still true today. Namaste is not a thing you would say parting ways in India, but something you'd say as a welcoming. So when we say namaste together today, we're welcoming in the night, we're welcoming in that change, that current, and we're welcoming in maybe this nice new yoga feeling we have, carrying it through the rest of the night. The light and dark in me loves and honors the light and dark in you. Together we say namaste.